Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my everyday makeup look with affordable high street products. So I already put a little bit of moisturiser on my face about 10 minutes ago just to let it sink in. So I'm going to start off with primer. Right now I'm using the Smashbox Photo Finish. I'll include links to everything at the bottom in the description bar anyway for you, but I think it's so good. I really like the silicone feeling primers where you can kind of feel a film on your skin. I think it just gives you like a really nice blurred effect so that all your makeup goes on really even. It doesn't cling into like pores or fine lines or dry patches. I think it just gives you an all over coverage. So I'm just applying that with my fingers, as you've probably gathered. And then next I'm going to do foundation. So I'm going to use the Revlon Colour Stay. I find the coverage really good. I've already got my beauty blender slightly damp. If you haven't tried using a beauty blender, you need to. I absolutely love them. I find it gives you really good coverage. Everything just goes on really flawlessly. I think it does give you a slightly dewy finish, which I wouldn't have thought I'd want because I have kind of oily skin and I really hate shine, but it's not shiny, it's just kind of like a little bit healthy. I just think it gives amazing coverage, so I love that. And I think the Revlon foundation's really good. It's very light to wear, but it has really strong coverage. I don't like medium or light coverage foundations. You know, if I'm wearing a foundation, I want it to make me look like an airbrushed magazine. So next is concealer. I really like the Maybelline Eye Eraser. Everyone seems to be talking about this at the moment. It's a bit of a cult classic. I think it's technically anti-age, but I mean, it's just a really good concealer. And then I really like to use the Beauty Blender for my concealer, because I find if you use your finger, you spread it all out and you lose the high coverage on the dark circles where you wanted it, whereas the Beauty Blender, you don't smudge, you just touch on and it just blurs out the edges so that you still have as much coverage as you wanted in the middle, but it blurs out the edges so that you don't have like a triangle drawn on. And I find it so good for concealer, possibly better than using it for foundation even, because it just gets rid of the edges of where you've applied it, but you still keep the super high coverage on the actual dark circles. So next I'm going to contour with the Smashbox Step by Step Contour Stick. This actually comes in a set of 3, so you get the contour, the highlight and the bronzer. At the moment I'm only really using the contour, but it's really good. I got it because Fleur de Force used it, and you draw, it's going to look ridiculous at first, but you draw on the lines that you want. I don't tend to do any on my forehead, maybe just a tiny bit on my jaw and the corners. You can also do your nose, but my nose is already really skinny, so I don't like to do any on my nose or it'll just be super pointy. And you can do forehead as well, but again, I think my forehead's balanced just fine. And then I blend it in with the Real Techniques buffing brush. And I blend it in circles just to really buff it in to give that defined jawline. Is blush. I'm currently using the e.l.f. blush. I really like the colour of this. It's a very like Barbie pink, so I find it's very highly pigmented. It was ridiculously cheap, but the packaging is terrible. It's already all broken and fallen apart. And I actually quite often do my blush with a big brush. This is the Eco Tools brush, just because I find then it doesn't go on so obviously. It's more spread out, so I like to use a big brush and then you can kind of just dust it along the apples of your cheeks. Finally for skin is powder. I normally find with this foundation I actually don't necessarily need powder because it's quite matte, but when I use powder at the moment I'm using the e.l.f. high definition powder. The problem I have with this is that the packaging is huge and it seems kind of unnecessary, but it's one with a sponge in, so I tip it out onto the sponge and I dab it all across my face and it looks ridiculous. And then I blend it in with a big brush afterwards. It comes out really white on the sponge, but once it's blended in, I don't think it gives me a ghostly tinge. So that's skin done. Now I'm going to do my eyes, and you probably won't be surprised to hear that I'm going to use the Sleek palette because I love it. Right now I'm really into the Arabian Nights one. It's limited edition so you can't get it anymore, but all the Sleek palettes are really good, so all of them will serve you just fine. So for eyeshadow, I always like to do a pale base colour, and then if it's just a day-to-day look, I normally do a tiny bit of something darker in the corner, either a green or a blue or a black, just to give a very slight smoky eye, but I normally don't do a whole bunch of different colours or anything complicated. So I'm going to go in with the pale pink, and I'm just going to cover my whole lid, especially my inner corner, because I really like something light and shimmery on your inner corner to give you a bit of a like healthy shine. I think it kind of makes your eyes pop. And I'm just doing it along the socket. I don't tend to go up to my brow or anything. And this eyeshadow has a really nice payoff. It's a little bit shimmery, but it's not too sparkly. I think I'm going to do a dark blue in my corner today. So this is a really nice matte dark blue, and I just do a dab in each corner. You really don't need much with this eyeshadow because it's such a high pigmentation. And then I use a clean finger. This is the one I applied it with. I use a clean finger just to blend it over so you kind of get an ombre into the middle. You could do this all with a fluffy brush instead, but I find I get more precision using my fingers. And then I'm going to do my brows next to try and balance everything out. I'm using the Super Lash brow pencil by L'Oreal. So I tend to use a brow pencil on a day-to-day basis because it's a bit lighter, but I really like a brow gel if I'm going to do a bit more definition. So I don't like too much of a strong brow, so I just tend to brush along. I very much go diagonally upwards to the corner, and then I just draw a little skinny line there. So I do everything upwards to this corner to try and get a nice arched pointed shape. And then for mascara, at the moment I'm using two. I'm using the Urban Decay Perversion because I love this stuff. It's really dark, really lengthening, really thickening, lasts amazingly, doesn't drop. I think it's super awesome, but it's really like wet on the brush. There's a lot of product on the brush, so I find it's terrible for your lower lashes. I just get it everywhere, all over my waterline, all over my face. So at the moment I'm using the Clarins Wonder Perfect mascara for my bottom lashes. I like this mascara well enough, but for top lashes, I just find this does so much more. This one's kind of a bit spidery. If you like more of a natural look, then you might like this one, but I like it to be quite high impact on my lashes, so I'm just using this on my lower ones at the moment. And finally, lips. For an everyday look at the moment, I'm really loving the Clarins Instant Light Lip Perfector. This is actually a sample size that I got when I bought some stuff from them recently, but I really love it, and I know lots of YouTubers really like it. It's slightly pink, and then it's got a little bit of a shine, so I really like it just as a daily look. So that is it for my everyday makeup look. This is pretty much what I wear day to day. A slight smoky eye, tiny bit of contouring, a simple lip. I really hope you've enjoyed it and it's given you some new high street products that you can try out as well. I will link to everything in the description bar below, so feel free to go check them out. Most of them are really affordable. If you enjoy my videos, please do subscribe. It makes my day every day I get a new subscriber. Thanks so much for watching. See you again soon. Bye! Hi guys, welcome back. I'm so excited about today's video. It's going to be a massive thrift haul.